Good evening. Here we are once again. Facebook live training Thursday evening, 7 o'clock UK time. Clocks went back this weekend, so it's now dark. Today, cloudy and rainy, but that's okay because we're inside. And as you can see, tonight I've got a halo. Okay, how are we all doing this evening? Let's see, if you are online right now, check in. Let us know where you're checking in from. Let me know if you can hear this loud and clear. Little thumbs up or comment in the comment box. Tell me if you're watching live. Also, if you're watching on the replay, you can type replay. As always, when we go through, if you've got questions, actually just tell me if you can hear me properly, because I've got these new earphones and I've been think I've been having problems with people hearing me properly. I'm not sure if these are good or shit. So yeah, if you're watching live, let us know where you are tuning in from. Let us know where you're linking in from. Let us know where you are in the world. Is it morning? Is it noon? Is it night? Hey, Jarrett. Cool, man. Nice to see you. Got a few messages. Where are you, Jarrett? Thank you for letting that. Hey, Nikki. I know where you are. You're in the windy, rainy place that I'm in as well. Nice to see you here, Jarrett. Where are you, my brother? Can't exactly remember where you are in the world. You're in the States, I think. Williamsburg, Virginia. Is that right? Is that what VA is? Not sure. Let me know. But it's nice to have you here, brother. Marta's in España. What's it like in España, Marta? Marta's in Toledo, I think. Maybe you're not there at the moment. I don't really know. Quite frankly, probably anywhere is better than it is right here, right now. Weather-wise. Other than that, obviously, it's amazing to be here this evening. Right, so this evening, thanks you for commenting so far. This evening, as we go through, we will. Thank you, Jarrett. I try my best. I didn't Google that. So there'll be a little bit more participation this evening because I want to just draw out a few things as we go through, just to drive home the point that we're talking about tonight. And I know we've got people on here already that are happy to make comments and join in. So it's just basically earlier on in the week I posted in the group, and then actually I put it on my own personal Facebook page. A kind of what you call them, a meme or a comment that involved the phrase "get to" versus "have to." And I got quite a lot of reaction from it, quite a lot of comments and things like that. So what I thought I'd do this evening is take that into a bit more of a deeper dive on what it actually means, and how it kind of impacts us on our daily life. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So tonight's training is based around the phrase "get to" versus "have to." And the reason I wanted to bring this into what we're doing, is that it's these simple mindset shifts, stuff that I've learned along the way that can give us, as I was saying in this group, we're about getting unstuck, gaining confidence, getting clarity, living with purpose. And these little mindset hacks can kind of get you out of a bit of a funk if you're in, and you'll see as we go through tonight, where just this little shift of get to it versus have to can get you out of feeling where you are. I don't want to go too much into that because I've got it kind of like all planned out where we're going to go. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about get to versus have to. So first of all, like I said, any questions and comments, please put them in the comments box as we go along, and I'll do my best to answer them. Hopefully it's related to tonight's topic, but I'll try and answer any questions actually. And if I can't answer them, I'll go away and find out for you. So the first part of what I want to talk to you about is the second part of the quote, and that's where we use this phrase in our life quite often as have to, as in I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do something else, and we apply it to quite a lot of things. So I'm just going to ask. Marta says it's dark and rains well, so it's the same there as you here. So first of all, I just want to say for anybody that's listening, or even if you're watching on the replay, I want to ask, and this is where the bit of interaction comes in tonight. I want to ask you where in the day so far today you might have said, or things that you would normally say, I have to do this. So what do you apply the phrase I have to? What have you done today where you said I have to do this? What did you do yesterday that you said I have to do this? What kind of situations do you apply it to? So just if you want to write that in the comments box, just so that we can use them. It doesn't have to be anything personal, but it's just general day-to-day stuff. Well, it could be something personal, just general day-to-day stuff where you apply the phrase I have to. Yeah, Jarrett says I have to live with my mental illness, and we talked a little bit about that before. We talked a little bit on message, didn't we, Jarrett? Um, and so, what else might we apply it to? What other daily situations might we apply it to? So I'll give you a few that we might apply it to. Let's have a look at the comments down here. So you might say something like, I have to go to work. I have to go and pick the kids up. I have to go and see. I have to go to a party tonight. I have to go shopping. I have to drive somewhere and pick something up. That kind of yeah, I have to go to the store. I have to go to work. Yeah, I have to prepare my students' lessons. Yeah, Jared. Yeah, I have to go to work. Yeah, I have to pay my bills. Yeah, good ones. Good ones. So those are situations where the things that we say we have to do. And if we look at those situations, some of the energy around have to is it gives a slightly heavy energy. So when you're saying to, not with your, obviously, Jarrett, with you and you're living with your mental illness, that's something that you have to do, in this situation. But the tasks that we carry out on a daily basis, this applies to. And obviously, you're dealing with your mental illness situation in the best way you can, I'm sure. The tasks that we carry out, or the things that we give ourselves that kind of you might have to clean and tidy. That's another good one, actually. So these are tasks that we carry out, or things that we carry out on a daily basis that we kind of give ourselves. We say we have to do them. So the energy around having to do that is generally heavy because I have to do it. It can feel like an obligation. It can feel like drudgery. It can feel like it's a chore. It can feel like you need to do it. Maybe that you're forced to do it. Maybe that you're being forced to do something against your will. Maybe when you say you have to, it feels like you have no choice. Maybe when you say you have to, it feels like you have no, that it's not your decision. Maybe when you say you have to, you feel like it's your duty. Maybe when you say you have to, you feel like it's an expectation. So when you say you have to do all those things, like Jarrett, I have to go to the store, feels like it's a bit of it could be an expectation, could be a bit of a chore. I have to pay my bills. Definitely, that feels, like a bit of a chore. I always think to myself, I have to do my tax form, which is coming up soon as well. And what we're talking about today has really helped me with that kind of thing. Marta, I have to prepare my lessons for my students. Again, it's a have to situation, and I have to clean and tidy my house. Again, um, these things like I have to clean and tidy my house. We even call it a chore, right? Though the things like that are even called a chore. And so they can what do you want to call it? They can reside with an energy that's heavy in a zone that feels like it's a heavy zone. We've got lightning going off around here now. So if all the lights go off, you know why. So something I learned a while ago was a very simple mindset shift around this, and that is if we change the have to a get to. Okay, now obviously with you, Jarrett, what you said is you have to live with mental illness. You're living with it. I get it. It's not your choice. Um, Shifting it to I get to is not gonna. I don't think is not gonna in that situation. It's probably not gonna change anything. Maybe you would tell me something different. If we change, so you could tell me if that would change anything. I'm not sure that it would or wouldn't. But if we apply, I don't think if I get to live with mental illness, does that change anything? That should be interesting. Can you tell me, Jarrett, if that would change the energy around it? I'm not sure on that one. I'm not, qualified. It's not my field of mental illness, but I'd be interested to know what you think about that. If we take everything else, the other situations that we talked about, of the things that we're doing on a daily basis, and change to a get to situation and apply it to what some of the things we've talked about, like, for example, me, I could say I have to do a Facebook Live. It's Thursday night, right? That feels like, just to add my bit into it, that feels like it's heavy energy and I have an obligation to do it. If I turn that around and say I get to do this Facebook Live on Thursday night, I get to do it because I've got these, it's my choice. I get to do it because I get to share something that I've learned and hopefully it would help people. I get to do it because I get to sit here and talk to and get comments from the beautiful people that are out there and people that are going to watch that after. And if we take that down to some of the things that we've written down here, so Jarrett, I get to go to work, right? How would you, so if we change that from have to get to, I get to go to work. So how would that affect you? You get to go to work, it means you have the choice. We say we have to go to work because we want to earn money to pay the bills. You don't have to go to work. If you don't, there's consequences. But you get to go to work because you've got a job, because you're able-bodied, because you live in a place where having a job is easy and comes natural. If we take it on a little bit further, you get to pay the bills. You get to pay the bills because presumably you're talking about living in a house. You get to pay maybe electricity, maybe water, power, heating to make you comfortable. If we move that on further and change what Marta said to you get to prepare lessons for your students because you have a beautiful job of sharing information, teaching people something new. So you get to prepare the lessons for them and share that information for them. Hopefully and presumably they appreciate it when you do it. Like you said, Jared, I get to go to the store, get to pay your bills. And Marta's talking about I have to clean and tidy. And if we switch that around to get to, that mindset shift is I get to clean and tidy because I've got a house, because I live in a nice surrounding, because I want to keep it tidy. I get to. So what we're talking about is just having that shift, that mindset shift that brings you immediately, once you're changing your mindset into the power of bringing you into the moment, and B will go on to you're immediately changing your mindset, but you're bringing yourself into right into the moment and think to myself, what am I doing? And I've got an example of this that was one of my clients who told me I can share this with him. So, I'm going to do that. When we first talked about this, he said he has a real problem with going to taking his kids to school in the morning and sitting in traffic. And so this example, when I shared it with him, he then turned it around and said, "Actually, I'm sitting in traffic because I've got a car, so I get to sit in traffic." And then I'm working. I mean, I'm in a situation where I, with my life and my work, where I actually get to take my kids to school, which not everybody can do. And so all those consequences, I then get to sit in this line of traffic because I'm taking them to school, and actually, it's a great thing. Now, I'm not saying it's always going to be always amazing and always perfect. These things are mindset hacks that I've used that you use along the way, but it can be as simple as I get to make my bed in the morning because I've got a bed, and they change. Like I said, it's a quick shift in perspective from have to, which is a heavy energy, to get to, or you could almost say choose to, which is a lightness of energy. That's a choice. It's your decision. It means you're not obligated, and it brings you. Jarrett, you said I think it would in certain circumstances. I think you're. Are you referring back to what I said about the mental illness? I think you are. Hopefully, and then thanks for commenting because it's not my area and I've got no clue. So any feedback is welcome. Because always here to learn. And if I switch that onto what we're talking about, that as much as I love to share things with people, I'm always here to learn as well. Nikki, what? I had to get dressed today. Would have loved to have stayed in my sloppy joes all day, but not professional. Acceptable in the workplace. I don't know, Nikki. They love you in your workplace, but you got to get dressed, right? You got to get dressed, and you got to go to work in that beautiful place and your beautiful shop that you've got, which is your own business. Let me just read what Jarrett says there. Yes, okay, cool. There are some benefits of mental illness. It's hard to live with. But I get to live with mental. You get to live with mental illness. This is amazing. So this is me learning right on the spot, and I think we've always got to be open to things that we don't fully understand and ask the questions and be understanding. So what Jarrett has written is there are some benefits to I've just put it down the screen. Hold on a minute. It's hard to live with, but I get to live with mental illness. I get to be a unique individual. That's my thoughts on it. Does that make sense? Jarrett, that is, of all the shit that I'm going to put here tonight, not shit, but all the stuff that I'm going to put in here tonight, that's probably the most powerful piece of information that people on here are going to see, and anybody's going to watch this video after. You get to be a unique individual, and I think that's an amazing and very, very powerful. So thank you, my friend, for that comment and that insight that's given us all. That's amazing insight. So Marta says, I'm carry on watching the replays. The friends just arrived. No problem, Marta. I know you're joined. I know you're back. Come back and watch and see what Jarrett said. So you can see the power of shifting from and I have to mindset to I get to mindset by the insights I've shared, but the one that Jarrett shared there as well. One thing I want to just kind of round off. Firstly, let me ask a question. With what we talked about so far, how do you now think tomorrow you could apply get to versus have to in your life? If you want to make any comment, how do you think that would apply to your life tomorrow? You're welcome, Jarrett. You deserve it. Well done, Jarrett. So Jarrett there, just in case you can't see it, I'm sure you can, but I'm going to read it out to you. Nikki, who's somebody I know personally, lives where I do, a beautiful person, amazing human being, has commented, well done, Jarrett. And I think, I almost, I've got a little bit more to add. Jarrett, you're given a mic drop moment. I almost want to say, what the fuck more can I say about this? other than what you put there, because I think it's amazing. Anyway, I will finish off just what I've got, which has got a couple more minutes, but thank you. And Nikki's right, well done. So if you want to, if you're watching it again on, you can do this on replay on live. If you want to comment, how would this then apply to your life tomorrow from here on forward? How would get to change the way you look at things? You can comment that. I just want to share something that really, out of all of this, is the kind of X factor that sort of, I don't know, like sneaks in, if you like. That kind of like, because we're having this mind shift, we can feel that it's easier. We can feel that we're making our choice. We can feel that we've got a different understanding about something. But there's, what I feel is that there's an X factor this that's kind of sneaks in underneath that you don't realize. And that is shown in really the comments have been made this evening. And that X factor is that you shift immediately into a mode of gratitude. So it's almost like a byproduct. Our gratitude, from my understanding, my learnings, my research, is a very, very high vibrational emotion, carries very high energy. I'm always talking to people about doing gratitude journals, because that changes your mind shift on its own. But changing your mind shift from have to get to immediately focuses on what you do get to do. And in my view, it immediately brings things round into automatically shifting you into a mode of gratitude. And being in a mode of gratitude is, you know, an amazing, amazing, amazing place to be. So Jarrett's got something else just to completely smash me out of the park again, Jarrett. Here we go. I get to work on my recovery. I am a survivor. I get to live another day. That's how I can apply this to my life every day. I've absolutely loved this life. Jarrett, my friend, I am going to shut the fuck up right now. I'm not going to carry on. I think you deserve to get the last word. I'm going to promote the shit out of this video and this live. It's honestly been one of the best ones that I've been part of. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, my friend. Yeah, keep showing up, everybody. Thank you so much for your participation. It could not have I could not. This is why I get to do this. Right? I get to do this. I get to share it, and I get to be part of things that come from you, and that grows me every day of my life. So I'm going to end this tonight by saying thank you. I get to do this. I appreciate you all. I've had massive growth on this one this evening. And I'm going to sign off. And my gratitude now, my heart is through the roof. So thank you very much. And if you've got any other questions, drop them in the comments box and I'll come back and answer you. So from an amazing Facebook Live with awesome energy, keep that in mind and remember that you get to. Okay, bye.